Hello, it's Mike. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing the hot topic of AI bots or LLMs, large language models. These are the websites like ChatGPT, Google Gemini, Perplexity, and tools like Copilot that you find in your Windows. Specifically, I'm going to be discussing the question of whether or not AI bots are going to replace humans in everything. I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but I found one area where these AI bots just don't compete, and that is reviews or deep dives into specific topics such as camera reviews. I'm going to use a scenario to show you what I mean. So here I am on ChatGPT and I've typed in a prompt, give me a very detailed review of the OM1 Mark II DSLR camera. I want to know the pros and cons of the camera, the must-have features, and I also want to know if there are other cameras by other manufacturers that are better than the OM1 Mark II in similar price range. So we're going to hit enter here. And while that's busy doing a search, I'm going to go and type and paste in that same prompt on Google Gemini. And I'm going to do one more on Perplexity. So I go back to ChatGPT, and this is the very detailed review, and it's still writing it, so that's pretty impressive, but it's finished. I mean, this is very, very detailed according to ChatGPT. Let's look at Gemini. Gemini has actually given a photo of a camera. Now, it says it is the OM system OM1 Mark II, and it's highlighting autofocus pros. Yep, there's some pictures there, there's some cons, there's some must-have features. So okay, it's given a lot more information than ChatGPT. And Perplexity, it's given me some sources, which is nice, and a video to watch on the OM1 Mark II, which is great. Pros and cons, must have features. I mean, Perplexity is actually a lot more detailed, I would say, and it's given me references to different websites. This is fantastic. So you can see Perplexity has by far been the best of the three. Um, but now let me go and search OM1 Mark II in my browser, and I'm using DuckDuckGo because I just don't like all the adverts. He has a website, Ken Rockwell. Let's go into this one. No pop-ups or anything. And I have been to this site before. And what do I see? Well, I see very detailed review of that camera and a lot of links. I mean, clearly he's got some knowledge here. And I'm scrolling and look at this little scroll bar down the side here. It's tiny, and it's tiny because his website is very detailed. It's clear to me that this guy either has got the camera and he's used it, or he's obviously a reviewer of cameras, so he's going to deep dive into everything. And look, he's got photos, he's got examples. I mean, it is just incredible what you can see here on this website. Not only can I see examples, but I'm also seeing recommendations. He's got a user guide, he's got the bad, the good, he's got it compared. Now, this is exactly what I was asking the question of the chatbots. I want to know what other cameras offer similar or better features or don't offer them, and this one is superior. And look, he's got everything. He's got all the different names and makes, Nikon and Canon. And obviously, I can now go and click on each of these. And what does it do? It keeps me in the website ad free, no pop ups or anything. And there's the review of the Canon. I mean, it's fantastic. And look how detailed and clean his images are. It's amazing. And this is a human. This is not an AI bot offering me a website with information like this. This is a human who spent hours. This must have taken hours. I mean, just look at the detail. So This is one area where I think AI bots are going to struggle. But saying that, I have found a AI bot tool that I think could complement a website like this. And that tool is called Notebook LM, and it's by Google. Notebook LM by Google. And what it is, and I'll actually create a new one. So what it is, it's a large language model similar to ChatGPT and Gemini and Perplexity. The difference though is you upload a file. Now this file could be a file on Google Drive or a slide or a doc. You can upload a website, a link, a YouTube video, or you can copy text from somewhere and paste it into this thing. What I want to do though is upload this website that is Ken Rockwell. So let me just go to the top of this page. I mean, let's look at all of that information on this particular camera. It's just incredible. And I'm going to just select intro here and I'm going to copy it. And now I'm going to go to this notebook and where it says here, choose file, I am going to say a website link. I'm not going to put a file. I'm going to paste in the URL. And then I'm going to go to insert. So this is the look of this tool. And what this is going to do now, immediately, look at that. There's the link that I've just pasted in. It's summarized the camera, the title. This is a comprehensive review of the OM system, OM Mark II camera by Ken Rockwell. The review details the camera specifications, including it, blah, 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 blah. Look, I could read it all, but it's a summary of what's in that link on that page. Now, this is just the tip of the iceberg. At the bottom of the screen is an area where you can type in a prompt, and it also offers you a few sort of examples of the type of questions that you can ask. So like, what unique features does this camera offer? So that was a prompt that was already there, and I'm going to select it. And now this bot is an expert in that website. It's gone and read that website from top to bottom, and it's now referenced everything on that website. And here it is. It's telling you that the camera offers several unique features. It's handheld computational photography. It's got live view modes. It's got superior stabilization, ergonomic and customization, sensor and image quality. And not only can you read the text there, you can hover over these little reference numbers and it'll give you even more information. It might even take you to a specific link on a website. I can see this goes to kenrockwell.com OM1. So I can right click, open on a new tab, and it's going to take me directly to that point on that website. Now, remember when I was on this website and I was saying, look at this little scroll bar. For you to read all of this information is going to take some time. It really is. And maybe you know 50% of what he's talking about here, so you don't really need to cover it again. But trying to find that key bit of information that you want to know about this camera, well, you've got to try and find it, or you're going to have to do a control F and a search and whatnot. Whereas you can be in this notebook LM and asking questions of things that you don't know about. So let's say, for example, I want to know about back button focus. I'm just going to type back button focus. I'm not even going to ask a question. I'm just going to press enter on that. And it will go and find some information because I'm pretty sure Ken has written about back button focus. The source do not explicitly use the term back button focus. However, the information provided does suggest how one might achieve a similar functionality. Yes, I know that. This is customizing the buttons, programming the function lever, the AEL button. So half press the shutter behavior. All of this is here. Now, maybe he didn't cover the back button focus. Maybe he doesn't even go near that because he doesn't use that feature, and his website is very personal to him and how he reviews and how he uses the camera. But that doesn't limit the tool that you're using here, because guess what you can do? You can go and add another source. So you can click on this and you can say, okay, this time around, I want to upload a file. And you know what I'm going to upload? I'm going to upload the manual. And here is the manual for the OM1 Mark II. So I'm going to go and add that in and let it just load. And then what? Now you've got two sources. You've got the website and you've got the manual. And the manual is 649 pages long or something silly like that. And I mean, again, when you buy a camera like this, most times you know most of the functions of photography because I mean, you've bought that camera for a specific reason or for a specific feature on the camera. So you don't really need to know every single thing in the manual. It's a good reference point. But anyway, here is the manual now loaded. So now I'm going to ask about the back button again. Is there a way to customize back button focus? And let's see what it says this time around. And now this bot is now a full-on expert in the manual as well as Ken's website. And look, it's already given me an answer. I can go back up to the top here. And now, how to implement back button focus. Assign AF-on or AL, and guess what it's doing? It's giving me references to the manual. So I can now go and click. Look at this. It's actually saying here, subject selection on page 336. Function has been assigned in button settings page 334. And now I can go and click on that link. Then just click on it. And here in the left side, it's going to open up a guide. And I am now going to be able to um, read all about this back button and set it all up. There it is. It's coming up now. It's all the information that I need. It's all there. It's just absolutely incredible what you can do with this thing. And that's just two sites. It's a mixture of Ken's website and the manual, but that's not all. This Notebook LM has one feature that just blows you out of the water, and this is the audio overview. So let me just click this button here, and I'm going to say generate. And now I'm going to play the audio overview. Take a listen to this.
All right, everybody, welcome. Ready for another deep dive?
Definitely.
Today, we're going to get into the OM System OM1 Mark II camera.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to do our best to help you guys decide if this might be the camera of your dreams,
That's the goal.
to help you decide if this is the camera.
Yep.
So we're going to be looking at a couple different sources here. The first one, and probably the main one, is Ken Rockwell's review.
Yeah, he's always got great insights.
He does. And the other one, just to be extra thorough, is we're also going to be looking at the official user manual.
Got to get all the details.
Got to get all the details, straight for the horse's mouth, as they say.
Exactly.
So first impressions, from what I saw, Ken Rockwell is pretty much in love with this camera.
Seems like it, yeah.
He says it's the, and I quote, most feature-laden camera I've ever reviewed.
It's like a podcast, and it's a podcast of two AI bots talking to each other as if they've just read or seen the review of this camera, and they have the manual in front of them as well as the Ken Rockwell's website, and they're having a frank conversation about the features of this camera.
Another thing that really stood out to me was the image stabilization.
Oh, yeah, that's always a big one,
Yeah.
especially for travel photography.
It is. So Rockwell, he already did some tests.
Okay.
And he measured that it's like 6 stops of improvement.
6 stops?
Yeah, 6 stops.
That's a lot.
Which is insane. Like, so he talks about shooting
That's crazy.
at 1 full second
Wow.
and getting sharp images.
Which you would normally need a tripod for.
Yeah, you would think so.
And he's getting sharp images handheld at 1 second.
That's game changing.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
So if you're someone who likes to have control over their camera settings,
Oh, like me.
this camera will make you very happy.
And they go into detail. I mean, they know everything about the camera from the manual, and they are putting it into English terms and simple understanding terms. And they're also talking about Ken Rockwell's website and the amount of detail that he goes into, and they give examples. And this is the best part. This little audio file or podcast can be downloaded. So you can go here and you can click on download, and you can upload it onto your phone or into a podcast reader or something. And while you drive into work, you can be listening to this in the car.
Embrace the technology.
Yeah.
Experiment.
Have fun with it.
Have fun with it. Because at the end of the day, photography is about capturing moments,
Creating memories.
telling stories.
Expressing yourself.
And this camera seems like a pretty amazing tool to help you do just that.
I think so too.
So that's it for our deep dive into the OM System OM1 Mark V camera.
I hope you guys enjoyed it.
We hope you found this exploration informative and maybe even a little bit inspiring.
Yeah, definitely.
So until next time,
Keep exploring, keep shooting, and keep pushing those boundaries.
happy shooting, everyone.
Wow, that's all I can say. It's incredible. So you can add up to 50 sources. Now, these two sources, you know, the Ken Rockwell site is massive. It's got just pages and pages of information. The manual is over 650 pages long, extremely detailed with loads of references, and combined, those two files took a good 3 or 4 minutes to create this audio overview. So I would imagine if you had more than two and closer to 50, it's going to take hours to create the audio. So that is something to bear in mind. You've also got these other sections under notes. You've got study guide, briefing doc, timeline, FAQ. And I clicked on the study guide earlier, but look at this. You can even have it ask questions. It gives you a quiz, and there's answers, there's essay questions, glossary of key terms. I mean, it's unreal what it can do. And it's just a case of minimizing this section at the top here, and then you've got all these other things. So like, yeah, I asked for the firmware, and it gave me a summary of the firmware and what version it was, and there's all a table of contents, and it's just information at your fingertips, along with where you can come in here and type your question and basically ask your PDF or ask that website a question. I mean, that part is just amazing as well. What else can you do in here? This audio file, you can change the speed of playback. So if you want to listen to it a lot faster than they were talking, you can do that. You can obviously download this file like I did. You can delete it. There's also an option here to share it, and you can share this whole thing publicly. Now, I don't quite know how that works. I think you're just sharing the audio, so it doesn't really need to have the source file, because clearly you don't want to be sharing your PDFs and all of those sort of things. So, and then I don't know if I mentioned this, but you can go back to the home page and it actually saves all these notebooks. And I think you can save up to 10 at the moment in this particular version. I mean, if you think about the real world applications, just think about legal, summarizing lengthy case documents. I mean, education, creating study guides from class materials or generating summaries from complex readings. What about the healthcare, reviewing medical research papers? Marketing, analyzing campaign reports. Policy development, think about an ISO 27001. I mean, you're talking 97 different policies and 125 procedures and registers, and putting all of that stuff together and then creating questions from it. It's what a world to live in. Think about the tools that we've got today versus what they had back in the past. I mean, it's mind blowing. It really is. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you can give me a like, that would be much appreciated. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. It really does help me with the algorithm and creating great content in the future. Please share, and thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.